Uh, well, I think the thing is, I'd much rather talk about the challenges that the industry, both e-commerce merchants and delivery companies, FedEx, UPS, my company, and even have in terms of what I call the Amazon effect. You know, everybody in America thing in 2 days and it'd be free. And so that's the fundamental challenge that I think we in the logistics industry and e-commerce merchants who are not Amazon, face on a day in day out basis. And when it's all said and done, it really comes down to how many packages per hour can you deliver and do that cost effectively and with a high degree of service. And so there's different approaches to it. I mean, Amazon themselves has a thing called Amazon Flex, which is what I call mums and Priuses, where they pull up to a Amazon fulfillment center and get a boatload of packages put in their back seat, and they do 4 hours work for about $77 US. And so that's one model. The other model that we participate in with Amazon is what they call DSP, or Delivery Service Partners. And in that environment, we run 125 dedicated trucks for Amazon to do final mile home delivery. And that's very cost effective for Amazon, because we will make 190 deliveries a day per truck. And so the cost is very inexpensive for Amazon, and we can still be viable for us. So that's the other model. And essentially what they've done is they've announced recently more of a FedEx ground model, which is almost like a franchise, where you have dedicated trucks for Amazon, which is what we've done. But what they've also done is in terms of branded trucks, leveraging their buying power on trucks, on insurance, on fuel, and everything, and made it look very much like a Amazon fleet, but it's really run by private companies like mine. And so they're helping even individuals get financing, or advising them on financing, so that they can set up their own fleet and deliver for Amazon. And then naturally FedEx and UPS carry a ton of volume as well, but there's an article recently talking about UPS's struggles to upgrade their infrastructure as more and more their volume becomes home delivery versus B2B, multiple package B2B versus single package home delivery, and the challenges that go along with that. So, the thing is, in my mind, the story is still being written in terms of e-commerce logistics, if you will, in the United States, and globally for that matter. But, I can speak much more to what's going on specifically here in America. So there's going to be a lot of changes. The other model that goes on here is that UPS are large customers in the United States Postal Service, in terms of FedEx and UPS transporting packages longer distances and then handing them to the post office to do the final mile. The post office delivers to every address in America every day. Even FedEx doesn't deliver to every street in America every day. So it kind of makes sense for the kind of co-opetition, to use an old .com term, to evolve. And so there's a lot of people trying to figure things out in that regard. The other thing is that's huge in this country and is really growing very rapidly is what many people call white glove delivery. And white glove delivery is for things like larger items that can't go by parcel service. Things like washing machines, dryers, big screen TVs, things of that nature. I'm on the board of a company called NALH, which is a $100 million white glove and complex installation provider for some of the larger e-commerce companies who are selling those types of products, either online or through their stores. So that's the other thing that seems to be going on. My point in all this is that, like I said a minute ago, the story is being written as we speak, and some people are, some logistics providers are going to shy away from, the Amazonization, if there is such a word, not I just made it up, of America, and so I think there's going to be a lot of winners and losers, and probably some people that consciously decide to stay on the sidelines because it's just not for them. But I think every e-commerce merchant I talk to is looking for a way to compete with Amazon and find a way to compete with Amazon without building, massive infrastructure, fulfillment centers, and leasing trailers and leasing airplanes and operating at break-even margin in many cases. So it's an exciting time, but it's really, the Amazon is the, I call them 1PL, 2PL, 3PL, and 4PL for that matter. And they also, is a 1PL, they sell and deliver their own stuff. And as a 2PL, they're a carrier for some of their customers, and then they manage theirs themselves, and then they manage 3PLs as well. So, they're probably the most amazing third-party logistics provider or overall logistics provider, the world has ever seen. And they move amazingly quick, not afraid to fail fast, and they've been able to deliver and grow along the way. So that's kind of my thoughts on it.
Regarding the operational challenges, do you have any recommendations for some operational practices that need to be in place to address these challenges?
Yeah, I think that everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses as a delivery provider, and I think you focus on your strengths, obviously. And I'll give you an example in our case that especially in Texas, which is where our roots are at, and Texas is generally every e-commerce merchant's number 3 market, in terms of package volume delivery of e-commerce orders. And so, we have had a contract with Texas that requires us to, be able to service every zip code in Texas. And so we do that. And what we've found, being long in Texas, is that naturally there's certain zip codes, postal codes, where we have a lot of density and high productivity, somewhat similar but not as dense as our Amazon relationship. And so a lot of people in the parcel business price by zone, which is distance-based. I think we're the only provider that I know of that prices based on density. In other words, we're matching more closely our costs, mainly on the delivery side. Line haul and sortation are an issue but the cost per stop of a truck or vehicle is where the big dollars are at that need to be managed and optimized. So we price lower in our very dense zip codes, say like downtown Dallas, and don't price nearly as aggressively in Tyler, Texas. And everybody is trying to, like I said before, is trying to figure out, how do we deal with this? And it's both the shipper, the merchant, and carriers like me. And Amazon's got their answer to it. FedEx and UPS have their answer to it. The Postal Service is very content, especially in the last mile, what they call DDU, destination delivery unit, injecting into the local post office or the SCF, the sectional center sorting facility. That's their strength, and that's how they play the game. So it's the most. I've been in transportation logistics my entire career, and I've never seen anything like this. Even back I was at FedEx for a lot of years. Even in the earlier days at FedEx, it was never like this. It's exciting, challenging, and scary all at the same time.
Do you have any final recommendations for dealing with the challenges?
Yeah, I think that ultimately it's from an e-commerce home delivery point of view, it's all about density, as I said, but also revenue per truck per day. And if you can't get enough revenue per truck per day, you're not going to make money, and you're not going to be sustainable. And so, like I said, there's many ways to play the game. The way we play it is we have a mix of B2B, B2C, as does FedEx and UPS, and then we target, our densest zip codes to incite people to bring us that volume much more so than, remote, rural zip codes where we might drive 5 miles between stops as opposed to 50 feet in our densest zip codes. So I think it's going to become more and more challenging. I think technology is also playing a role in how effective companies like ours can be. The mobile technology is very much like Uber or Amazon Flex, and we're about 2/3 of the way through with rolling that out. And that'll, customer service and visibility, that to be able to provide real-time visibility is also a part of the requirement, in addition to just delivering packages. People want information about the package almost as much as they want the package. So I think picking your strength, leveraging technology, and being light on your feet in order to be able to adapt to what will be ever-changing environment in terms of e-commerce is the way we're thinking about it.
Transportation marketplace here in the United States called UShip, USHIP. And so it was an e-commerce and software company. Think of it as eBay for shipping large, difficult to ship items that FedEx or UPS would never take. It can be cars, furniture, pets, regular freight, but and everything in between. Motorcycles, boats, world's largest ball of popcorn. So, I've been doing this for a while. And then in my current role, I'm the CEO of a company here in Austin, Texas called LSO. And LSO is a regional courier company, a regional version of FedEx or UPS, if you will. We cover 7 states. We have 2,500 drivers and 75 operating locations. And a ever-growing part of our customer base is e-commerce related, ranging from Amazon to meal kit companies is becoming very popular in the United States. and just could be staples.com, office.com, any number of e-commerce merchants like Nordstrom, Ulta, companies of that nature, where we're doing the final mile delivery for e-commerce volume of their e-commerce orders.
Thanks, Richard, for sharing today.
Hope that helped, Dustin.